back. We were just talking about anger management and how to control that if you're just tuning in. So, okay, wait, I have a question. What if you're just at the point, like, it's about to go down, you about to fight, and, counting to 10, nothing. You got, like, is there ever a point where fighting is the answer?
Well, I don't, I have a daughter who's 17. And when she gets into some type of issue or some type of drama at her individual school, sometimes, we learn as we grow. Sometimes you could mess up or goof up or you can get sideways with someone. Sideways means to, make a mistake. We should learn from our mistakes. Do you learn from your mistakes?
Most of the time.
Most of the time, but and even in a situation where you may have to fight, look back at that scenario and say, where could I have avoided this conflict? And if you think about it, the drama and the mess probably happened 2 months ago. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
one thing is that every school got that main bully, somebody that you always want to pick on you. So it's like, you gotta come to school and it's like, if you that person he picking on or she picking on, it's like they gonna always tell you, just do something to get into your head. That's the thing. And it's like, sometimes you can't just have a positive mind to where you gotta come to school because you already expecting that to happen. So it's like, when you come to school, how do you just like dodge that? Because it's gonna be hard to do that. Because it's like, mentally and on the inside, you don't want to fight.
Yeah.
You don't want to do something so other people around you can just see that you ain't no punk. You ain't no. So how you just like handle that situation?
Now let me ask you something. How would you handle that? How would you handle that?
I've probably been there. Not me being the bully, but being bullied. Like, walking in the hall and they'll be like, oh, there she is, blah, 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 blah. But, it gets to me. I let it get to me. And, like, every day I'm like, oh, gosh. Like, I see him in the hallway, But, like, I kind of just take it in. And then, like, maybe they're jealous, which is normally the case, jealous. Or maybe they're, like, issues at home, I try to be the better person. And, like, I'll confront them and be like, what's up,
Because it's like eventually,
Yeah.
like especially in school, like when it, like all in reality, you won't even see them in like 4 years. You will never see them again. If you did, it was by like a small weird chance, but you would never see them again. So what's the point in getting in a fight with someone that in like 2 and 3 years you won't even remember?
So in a sense, you're saying that you're thinking about the consequences before you make the choice.
Yeah.
But now let me kind of add this to that scenario. If you are dealing with a bully, Bill Clinton once said, if it's not in writing, it didn't happen. But Hillary Clinton once said, God may forgive you, but I'm taking notes. Always document. If you're having a problem with a bully, well, who's the authority figure in that particular classroom? The teacher. So you tell the teacher, you say, hey, I'm having a problem with this guy, or I'm having a problem with this girl. Let your parents know. Let the principal know. If it gets totally blown out of proportion, request a conference with your parents, the bully's parents, and the principal.
That makes it worse.
That makes it worse.
No, but hold on. Wait a minute. Does it make it worse because you're confronting your nemesis across the table from one another? But what you're doing is you're pulling that inward anger out. You see? Because maybe it is some unresolved issue at home that he's dealing with that his parents may not be dealing with. You see, anytime you cover up anger, what does it do? It makes it worse. Look at the guy who blowed up the federal building in Oklahoma, Timothy McVeigh. That was covered up anger. That pretty much just exploded. What if someone would have called him out into the square and said, hey, what you dealing with? Let's talk about this. In a controlled setting. You see, but the hallway is not a controlled setting. You see, so the first thing you want to do, you want to document it, and you want to pass it along to the authority figure, whether if it's in school, whether if it's at work, because they have certain classes, or maybe the counselor can get involved and pull him to the side.
That's where, okay. I know a lot of people, if you go to a teacher or if you go to a counselor, that makes it worse. Because that's like saying you can't handle it for yourself. Exactly. Why would you go to a teacher?
And by the end of the day,
nobody wants to make
after
it
the
worse.
conference, after the parents, all that, your parents not gonna be at school to you.
But listen to
gonna
this.
be y'all two in the hallway
like a baby.
But still, it's in confidence. And the key is, listen to me now, And the key is you have a record. So let's say if you're just pushed into the corner and you have to defend yourself, right? The consequences are not going to be as severe on you. Why? Because you have a record. But now if you just go off, it's his word against yours. But you have documentation saying, hey, this kid is picking on me. I went to the counselor. I went to my parents. I went to, Santa Claus, whoever. But you do have an actual record saying that you did try
So basically,
to do the right thing.
as long as we gonna get it written down, then we can go fight.
No, I'm not saying that. See, now she
As long
twisted
as
my
they start
words.
it first.
I'm just saying, go talk, y'all can plan it out. Let's go talk
remember
to the
this.
principals, bring in the parents, get it written down, and then
No,
go
that's
first.
you always want to take. You always want to make the first effort. Just like she said, just do what's right. Now, come on now. We living on planet Earth, in America. You understand? Sometimes we're going to have drama. Sometimes we're going to have trauma. Sometimes we're going to have issues and situations and circumstances that we can't avoid. You see? But as long as we tried everything within our power to try to make the situation right. Now, if we're forced into a corner and we have to handle it, but we we know that we tried everything that we could to try to avoid it. You see?
See, to me, I'm like, I wouldn't go to a teacher. I tell my mom everything because we're close, so I vent to her, but I'm not like, Mom, this person's picking on me. But to me, I almost don't do anything because I ignore it, because it's like, why waste your time and energy and emotions on someone?
But now let me ask you this. Now see, with this young lady here, she has a mother that's concerned about her well-being. Now let me ask you something. Let's say if you have a teenager who doesn't have parental involvement in their home, but they want to vent. They want to talk to someone. What avenue do you have at school that you can go in and tell your counselor? You see what I'm saying? And that's why I use word. If you rewind the tape, you'll see that I'm telling you in confidence. You have to make it clear. Hey, look, I don't want to be put on the square. I don't want to be called a coward. I need this to be done in confidence. You see,
that's easier said than done, because when you're in that type of situation, your pride take over your body to the point to where you gonna want to fight, because it's gonna be harder. It's gonna be harder on you, and it's like everybody else is just looking at you, just like, oh, is he gonna fight?
And
How's he gonna handle it?
let me say this: it was one incident that this one guy wanted to save face, and save face means to protect his pride. Okay. Now he chose to, do what he did so that everybody would think he was the big guy, the strong guy.
Well, hold on, time out. We gonna say pride when we get back. All right, so we'll be right back, y'all.